Hello, my seniors. I wanted to share this video with you to try to explain the graduation project that you should have a packet for and that you have to complete over the summer. You are going to need this packet completed when you do your career portfolio, which is a graduation requirement, meaning you have to do it to graduate. So, I'm going to show you where the packet is. I'm going to show you where some resources are and explain to you what you need to do. If you go to the district website, so pvbears.org, click on Choose Your School, go to the high school. There is a tab on the high school called Graduation Project, and there are all these resources here for you. So I'm going to take you to general information first. And this is where you're going to find the pages for the packet, but we're going to go into the whole packet itself so I can explain it to you, hopefully pretty briefly. So here's your first page, your title page, class of 2024. Now here's the important part. You have to do 30 hours total combined. 8 hours must be community service, meaning that's something that you do to help the community. It has nothing to do with a job. Then you have to do 8 hours of job shadowing. So that has to be related specifically to employment. If you are in MCTI, you're already doing job shadowing. You don't have to do that part. You only have to do the community service. But if you are a high school student all day, full time, whether it's in the Bear Academy, the Cyber Academy, or whether you're in-house, you have to do this community service and job shadow. Then there is another 14-hour requirement, and that's how you get your 30 hours total. You can do those either as job shadowing or community service, or split it up between the two and do 15 hours of each. But you have to do 30 hours total. But 8 hours must be community service of that 30, and 8 hours must be job shadowing of that 30. And then how you spend the other 14 hours is entirely up to you. And it explains what community service is and job shadowing. The big thing when I was going through this that I recognized is that you can't get paid for this. So you can't job shadow at a job you already have. Now, notice here on the screen, it says that all your forms for approval had to be received by May 26th, 2023. I did go in and I talked to the principals, and if you forward the information to me, I can fast track that. So I'm going to show you these forms, and the first one, when you complete it, if you take a picture of it or scan it and send it to me, I can let you know if what you've chosen to do is okay or not. So if we go down to page 3, this is the job shadowing contract. This has to be completed, and this is the one that needs to be approved, one of two. You have to put your name, homeroom, your school email, your cell number, your parent or guardian's name, and their cell number. Your counselor's name, if you don't know who your counselor is right now, and I know there's been some changes, please email me, reach out to me, or reach out to the guidance office, and we can get you that information. The name of your internship partner. So remember, this is for the job shadowing. What is the name of the person, the type of business, the address, and the supervisor that you're going to be working with who can verify that you put in these hours? It can be done virtually. So if your person works in a virtual environment and they just want to bring you in to watch what they do, that's fine. But then you would put that in the brief description down here. So what are they doing and what are you watching them do? Like, what are you learning out of this? Because that's the point of it, right? The point of it is to see somebody doing a job so you can watch it and see if that's something that you may or may not want to do. And then you have to sign it, your parent or guardian has to sign it, and you have to date it. And then down here is the stuff where if you get it to me or you take it into the office, you'll get that approved, and then you can go ahead and do your job shadowing. The same thing for community service. So community service is volunteer work. You can do that with the food pantry. You could do that with a church or a religious order, a community order. There's I'll show you where there are resources online here of people that you can contact to set up your community service. And again, the same thing. Who's going to be your contact, who's going to sign off on your log saying that you put these hours in, and how can we contact them? And then your signature, parent or guardian signature, the date. And then, again, take a picture of it, scan it, you can send it to me, you take it into the main office, that's up to you. Once those are approved, then you have to log them. So for the community service, it's a little easier because all you have to do is write down the date that you did the service, what it was you actually did, the hours that you were there, and have somebody initial it. So yes, you need a paper copy because somebody has to be able to sign off on it. But so, for example, suppose you're working at the food pantry and you go over there and you do food distribution 2 Saturdays. So you do one in July and you do one in August. That's your 8 hours, right? Because you could put the 4 hours in on one Saturday, 4 hours in on the other Saturday, and you're done. Maybe you go to Awesome and you help out with the animals over in Stroudsburg. Maybe you go to the library and you help clean up around the outside part of the library, or you go in and you help, organize things, or whatever, whatever you do, you have to describe that here and the hours that you spent doing that. And then somebody needs to sign that off. When that is done, when you've logged your 8 hours, or, maybe you put your 22 hours in there because you only do 8 hours job shadowing, that's fine. But then you have to sign it off and your supervisor has to sign that off. And then this you are going to bring when you do your career portfolio class. That's when you need to turn this in, and that'll be on your schedule whenever that is. Same thing with a job shadowing log. Where were you? When did you job shadow? What did you do, or what did you observe being done? Was somebody working with customers? Were they ringing up orders? Were they managing clients? Were they planting plants? Were they baking? Whatever it is, that job that you shadowed, were they working with patients? Whatever it was. You have to describe what you saw, very short description. You don't need an essay here. The hours that you watched this thing happen, and then somebody has to initial that. And then at the end, your signature and their signature. Now for the job shadowing, you also have to have an evaluation completed. So this would be like if you were I've had people come observe my classroom, okay? And I have to fill out a form that says, did they show up on time? Did they dress well? Did they behave themselves? Did they have a positive attitude about it? Did they actually help out? Were they respectful? Whatever it was that I, as the person being observed, asked them to do, did that person do that, in fact? So that's what this is. You have to get that completed. And then these 3 forms, then the community service log, the job shadow log, and the job shadow evaluation, they all come back with you to your career portfolio class, and they determine whether you actually pass or fail that class, because this is an integral part of your requirements for that class. So you need to get these things done. Don't put them off. Don't ignore them and think they're going to go away. They don't. And you can't graduate unless you complete this. So I'm going to go back here because I want to show you under graduation project. Here are some links to help you. So community service opportunities. Here are all kinds of people that you can contact, phone numbers, their websites, when they're open, when they're available. They will, get you set up. They can always use volunteers and some help. Job shadowing opportunities. You are welcome to job shadow someone that you know doing a job that you're interested in. Again, get it approved up front, but you're welcome to find your own job shadowing opportunity. But these are also some places where you can set up job shadowing opportunities at Eldred Township, St. Luke's Health Network. There's someone you can contact if you want to do something medical. Lehigh Valley also. But again, if you have a job you want to do and you know somebody doing that job, then reach out to them and say, look, I need to watch you do your job for 8 hours or more if they let you. And then, get them to help you out with that. And then there's some frequently asked questions here. You can read through those. I'm not going to read them to you. But the big takeaway from these questions is, one, you can't get paid for it, so you can't do job shadowing on some job you already have. And what was the other one? Two, it can't be something you've already done. Like, so if you've already done volunteer work for somebody, you can't sort of backtrack and use those hours. This needs to be something that you are doing from the time that you get this approved going forward. So here's where everything is. If you have questions, please reach out to me. I check my email about at least 3 times a week, if not more, and I will be happy to answer your question. We can talk if you want. We can jump on a Zoom. I can give you a call if you give me a number and a time to contact you. Just let me know. But again, don't put this off. You need to get it done to graduate. Good luck. I'm here if you need me.